so I have my trusty pest control here, and she's gonna get to work scaring away the bugs, and I'm gonna get to work planting. Ready? Say thanks for watching. There you go, Penny. Do your job. You ain't good for nothing. Don't you even pretend. Can't fool them. Okay, so here's what the left side of the trellis looks like. And the cucumbers are growing up and getting all twisted in there. And then in the middle row we put lettuces, and in the far row are basil. All different kinds of colors of basil actually. And we're thinking about making some pesto this year and putting it in mason jars for storage. But anyway, the lettuce is in the middle row, kind of shaded, and that's because it's so hot in the summer that lettuce doesn't usually do that well. And we're seeing if we can actually get a better crop by keeping it cooler underneath all the cucumber foliage. And really, the lettuces look like they're really nice so far. We just don't want them to bolt before we can eat them, so that's kind of the theory behind where we planted those. And now we're on the other side of the trellis, the right side, and that has a row of peppers in the middle, which you can't hardly even see because they're kind of hidden, but we have one more row to fill, this last one. And today at the farmer's market in Santa Rosa, we got some really beautiful organic starts. These are little bok choys, and that's what I'm going to plant in this final row. The Mizuna, that's really cool looking with the purple stems, we don't have enough to fill out the whole row, and we're trying to make things look symmetrical, so this is going to have to be saved for a different spot. So I have 18 of these, and instead of measuring them a certain distance apart from each other, we just want them all to go in this one row. So we're actually not going to plant these a certain number of inches apart like it would say to when we look them up, but instead, well, this is Pok Choi. So this actually says it's called Pok Choi on it, and I'm not going to plant them a certain number of inches apart according to a spacing chart, but I'm actually going to just make sure all 18 of these plants go in this one row. So I'm going to space them out so that they'll go in evenly, and then I'll show you how far apart they're going to go according to that. Okay, so we've got these about how we want them. Let's do a close-up. So I just popped them all out of their little trays. There's 18 in total, and then eyeballed it to lay them out about an even space all the way across this bed. Now I'm just going to use my gloved hand to dig little holes big enough to fit them in, and we're not going to take any mycorrhiza for these because they're brassicas, and apparently mycorrhiza isn't really for brassicas. So I'm just going to actually pop them in the ground, and the soil's already enriched with rock dust, a little bit of kelp powder, and even worm castings, so it's not like they're not going to have a good, nutritious place to start their lives. Okay, so we're going to say this is about 6 to 8 inches apart, my Pok Choi babies. And now I'm going to give them a little bit of water before I even plant them. Now I'm just giving them a little bit of water before I even plant them to help loosen up the roots. handy, especially when you don't have anything to add. Like usually I put a pinch of microrhizin row and near the dripper so that they'll get watered automatically. Close up. Make my little hole. You can see the soil's a little dry, so I'm going to want to water again as soon as these are in. Right there. Don't bury the stems at all. Just the roots, and make sure you guys standing up straight. And let's do the next one. How it's done. Okay, and then for whatever I couldn't get myself, I got the hose. I'm just gonna water. That's my area that I watered personally. And then these guys are ready, and I can move on to the next project.